Obama is giving away the store. He is negotiating 4 treaties that will totally undermine America's national interest permanently. That's what we'll talk about at lunch today. I mean, I don't know if we can survive another year of this guy's presidency. The rest of the world knows they have Obama as president, Hillary as Secretary of State, and a Democratic-controlled Senate that'll ratify whatever they put up. And they are pressing the United States to cede our fundamental national interests while these stars are in alignment for them. It's revolting, and nobody's paying attention. The Republicans are focusing on the primaries, the Democrats don't want to raise the issue, and the mainstream media isn't covering it. So I want to talk about these. We'll be talking about them at greater length in our new book called Screwed, how the U.S. is getting screwed and what the next president has to do to stop it. But that's not coming out till May 8th, so I want to talk to you about these issues now, because they may not wait till then. The first one is the International Criminal Court. This would be a body set up by the nations of the world with international judges that would have the power to prosecute violators of genocide and human rights and all that stuff, but also the crime of aggression. And aggression is defined as going to war without the approval of the United Nations, which means practically without the approval of Russia and China vetoing it. And it's punishable by imprisonment of the leaders of the country. George Bush, Dick Cheney, and Condi Rice could be arraigned in front of this court for going to war in Iraq without UN approval and subject to criminal penalties. In fact, there was an attempt to arrest Bush when he was speaking at a conference in Switzerland, and it led the former president to cancel the speech so as not to put himself at risk. It is outrageous, and Hillary has decided to go ahead and negotiate this treaty, and God knows what's going to come out of it. The second is called the Law of the Sea Treaty, LOST, Law of the Sea Treaty. And it provides that all countries give half of their royalties for offshore oil drilling and gas drilling to an international body of 160 countries that votes on which countries should get the money. It literally will take huge amounts of money from the United States from drilling offshore and require us to give them to all the other nations of the world, and we have only one vote out of 160 in who gets the money. And it also requires us to share our offshore drilling technology with other countries on a mandatory basis. It's revolting, and we get nothing in return for that. The third one is the Small Arms Treaty. This is basically an attempt to enact gun control without going through Congress. It says that each country in the world promises to crack down on gun owners in their country to make sure that those guns are not exported, small arms, and that they must be registered or checked, otherwise they could be exported. Now, this is totally phony. The arms that are going around the world, the small arms, are not because Joe down the block is selling his revolver to somebody in Ethiopia. It's the United States, China, Israel, and Russia that are exporting 80% of the small arms throughout the world. So to conjure that we have to deal not with the governments that are doing it, but the individuals, is ludicrous. It's a complete fabrication. And what it is an attempt by the liberals to impose gun controls that could never get through Congress by means of an international treaty. And the fourth thing that they're pushing is an effort to deal with the rights of children. It's an effort that says that the rights of children are going to be enshrined in an international covenant. And it's meant to fight prostitution and child kidnapping and human trafficking and all that kind of stuff, which is great. But it also could impose rules on how to deal with children, where they may be educated, what religious instruction they should receive, what discipline they should get. Already, this was part of a big effort to prevent capital punishment of children, which the Supreme Court ultimately agreed with. Now, we don't need this in the United States. We protect our children pretty darn well. We have a constitution and we have laws, and we're not the place that people are being forced into human trafficking. So what they're trying to do is to use the need to protect children in Somalia and other countries in order to discipline the way parents raise their children in the United States. These are power grabs by the international bureaucracy in the United Nations, and they need to be stopped. They didn't stand a chance, none of these 4 treaties did, under Bush or Clinton. But now that Obama and Hillary are in charge, they're moving on the fast track, could be submitted to the Senate while the Democrats are in charge, could be signed, could be ratified, and then a Republican president could not undo them. Now, we're going to be having petitions on our site over the course of the next couple of months as these treaties metastasize and become major items. But I just wanted to brief you on this because it's a really serious issue. Thanks for watching.